Progressives insist a woman has the right to choose her life over that of her unborn babies, but in response to my ad, progressives argue that a woman does not have the right to choose her life over the life of her potential rapist or her potential murderer. The New York Times, New York Magazine, Huffington Post, and all sorts of feminists, it was raining feminists. They said it was bizarre and that it would only hurt women. Piers Morgan, just days after the Dallas massacre, said that my ad was, quote, the most disgusting thing that he'd seen all week. The ad was not the massacre, but the ad on self-defense. The argument against empowering women against potential predators is a sexist one. Progressives posit that women will only hurt themselves with or be hurt by their own guns. And as I wrote in my first book, Hands Off My Gun, they cling to debunked data by Arthur Kellerman, a guy who claimed that his statistics supported women being murdered by the firearm on which they would rely for self-defense. A man who refused to release his methodology for years until he was pressured by better-known criminologists. And those criminologists, discovered that Kellerman padded his numbers with unarmed women attacked by criminals wielding their own firearms. Now, with this demonstrably false presupposition, progressives cling to the sexist belief that women are too weak. We're just too weak. And we're too stupid to legally carry a firearm. We're just dumb women. I mean, what a stereotype. Interestingly, this is similar to the logic used by Muslim clerics to prevent women in Middle Eastern countries from driving cars. Women, say these so-called feminist crusaders, will only be hurt by their firearms, despite the fact that no data, nada exists supporting their theory that there is some epidemic of well-armed women murdered or raped by their attackers because they took their firearm away from them. In fact, there's a plethora of data available which actually shows unarmed women are overpowered by criminals with their own criminals' weapons, right? I'm not so sure what Piers Morgan or these social justice warriors, what they find so bizarre or disgusting about a woman who chooses her life over the life of her attackers. And that's the whole entire point. These people, they support a party and an ideology that commutes the sentences of violent offenders and creates sanctuary cities for criminal illegal immigrants. For instance, via an analysis by the Center for Immigration Studies by way of the Washington Examiner, ICE released, not deported, but released 19,723 criminal illegal immigrants, including 208 convicted of murder and over 900 convicted of sex crimes. The remaining 12,307, they were convicted of drunk driving. Now, these criminals, with an average of 3.25 convictions each, were released to travel freely throughout the United States. Thanks, President Obama, and your immigration policies, and thanks to every social justice warrior who supported them. Now, due to the president's policies, supported by said social justice warriors blasting me and the narrow classifications under which these criminals are removed, courts ordered for the release of these non-citizen rapists and murderers. Now, these same social justice warriors are hoping to persuade courts to negate our right to carry. So to recap, the same social justice warriors who think it's disgusting that I or any of you ladies watching, all of us who want to carry to protect ourselves, they think nothing of releasing violent felons who prey upon us. They create an environment in which predators thrive, and they seek to turn us all into sheep for the slaughter. I don't care if these people are offended at my ad. I'm not offended that they're offended. And just to offend them more, I carried not one, not two, but 4 guns on my person today, giving any potential rapist or murderer 4 choices of injury or death should he attempt to make me a victim.